Welcome everybody, welcome to our channel. We're back today with some updates on the SBA loans, especially disaster loans, and on the employee-employer relationship and what do you have to do. Do you keep them? Do you lay them off? What do you do? So stay tuned for more details on that. Again, my name is Laura Dehanas with My CPA Pro. We are a licensed accounting firm in the state of California, and we are here to discuss the implications for you and your business during this coronavirus epidemic or pandemic. Um, Again, we're going to start covering a little bit of what feedback we got and responses, comments, questions that we've got from clients, from businesses on all the platforms that we're engaged in. And if you are interested in this topic, please make sure you subscribe, like this post so more people can have access to the information. Unless we work together, and this whole virus thing, we don't know how long it's going to last. It's going to be really difficult for any of us or any business to survive. So let's stay together, let's help each other the best way we can, and let's dive right in. So the first thing I want to cover is the loans, the SBA loans. There's so much information out there. A lot of people are putting ads out there that they can guarantee loans. Now, no one can guarantee the loan. There's no such thing as, you apply and you have a guaranteed qualification or receipt or disbursement of funds. Now, you have to do the best you can to package it correctly. And we have clients that we package the loan for them. We have clients that we helped, we gave them the information and they did it themselves. Now, again, we are professionals. We're doing this for a living. So we definitely could package the financials. There's a lot of financial data and reports that need to be provided for either one of the loans. So if you find it difficult or your accountant does not know how to do it, does not work with you, or is not familiar with the SBA loans, feel free to reach out. We're definitely more than happy to assist with that. But if you can do it on your own, definitely. If it's harder, it is a complicated bill. There's many different layers that you want to make sure it's done correctly. So the first thing I really want to mention is not just the first application. So on the 7B loans, which are the disaster loans, EIDL, the application, the first page they go on the SBA website is fairly simple. You say, oh, I applied. Well, that's just the beginning, right? So you submit the application in, which is really has basic information about ownership, about who you are as a business, how you are being structured. You can opt in at that point for the emergency $10,000 cash to receive within 3 days from applying, right? You have to remember that these loans get processed directly by the SBA, not the local banks, like the forgiveness loans, SBA. Now, it will take a few days until a loan officer gets assigned to your case, your application. So at that point, you'll be notified. So that's when the real application begins. So the first initial phase is simple, and I have heard so many people applying for these loans, and they think they can just get the 10,000 cash and forget about the rest. Well, you're gonna have to pay it back. It's not that easy. So we want to stay legit. We don't want to go and commit anything that is going to bite us back later on. So unless you have an intent to fully submit an application with the SBA, don't even try to get the 10,000. It's not worth it. So it's just not worth it. So going back, as soon as you get that loan officer assigned to you, you will communicate. They'll let you know how to send the documentation, where to send the documentation. Some of them could be, electronic, paper. You'll have all the packages as soon as the loan officer gets assigned to you. You have to understand there's thousands of applications. Okay, the SBA was not prepared for this. They don't have, they're not hiring. They don't have a whole lot of loan officers on, standby, just waiting to get in the applications. So because of that, please be mindful and understand the severity of the situation, that everyone is trying to get the loans, and do the best to have the package ready. So if I have one comment for people right now, if you submitted that first page application or a couple of pages to get the 10,000 cash, hopefully you got it. I want you to leave in the comments below if you got the 10,000 cash. I would love to see how many people, how many businesses were able to get a 10,000 emergency cash, right? Which is a grant. If you don't get approved, you could keep it. But if you get approved, it will be part of the loan, repayable on the terms on the loan. So Going back to how that will happen, so get the package ready. Go look at the requirements for documents you need for the loan. Have it ready when the loan process begins so you can be prepared to expedite it. It might take a few weeks until you can actually receive the funds, or the first disbursement will take place. So to get the funds as fast as possible, get that ready. When the loan officer gets assigned, you'll get an email. Make sure you stay tuned to your email. Make sure you check your email regularly, and then you can begin the process. Again, if you need assistance, please check back with us, and we'll more than happy to assist you. So now moving into another topic, and I was debating if I should do a separate video on just that alone, and leave some information in the comments if you want me to do a separate video for payroll itself. I'd be more than happy to do so. I want you to really grasp two separate incentives right now for payroll. And we're talking about timing. Timing is extremely important. So there's a net benefit of keeping the employees on staff or not keeping them. The basic rule of this is to qualify is you have to have 500 employees or less. Okay. Now, a lot of the people that contact me have 50 employees or less, which is an exception for them. So if you have 500 or less, the rules are the sick pay leave or the FMLA, where if you're sick or you have to care for someone who's sick right now with having symptoms or having to be in quarantine, you get either 511 for yourself per day, up to 10 days. That's about $5,000, just a little over $5,000. Or you can get $200 per day for yourself, or if you have to care for someone else in your family. Now, the question is, in the FMLA right now, a lot of the kids are out of school, and a lot of families have to stay home, or one member of the family has to stay home to take care of the kids, that the daycares are closed, the schools are closed, and someone has to care for them. If you have 50 employees or less, you are exempt from having to keep these employees on payroll if that would jeopardize the continuity of your business. So if you can make ends meet on your business level, and you have less than 50 employees, you might be better off just laying the employees off. They get the unemployment benefits, and as soon as you get the loan or some other resources, you can rehire them. Now, these credits, they will be applied on your quarterly payroll tax statements and reports and returns. Are going to be available only beginning with April 1st, which is today. So April 1st up to December 31st. So we have like April 1st to June 30th, and then December 31st. So make sure they keep track of the dates. So all these credits, if you already paid people for sick leave, that they have to stay home with their kids, that the schools were closed, you only get the credit from April 1st and moving forward. Okay, so up to right now, I think it's June 30th that they have extended it right now. That might change later on, but right now that's what's available. Now, if you are looking for reimbursement or payment for the payroll that you already paid your employees up to April 1st, and we are in California, so you might have been restricted to open from the beginning of March, and sometimes like March 15, majority of the businesses were closed, at least in the local counties that we are. So depending on the county where you are, if you were restricted and you were not considered essential business and your business had to close, you have to go back and apply for the PPP, the 7A loan, the payroll protection plan, to get the a credit, not a credit, you get the loan that is forgivable. Okay, the forgiveness loan that we talk about. So I know it's very confusing, and that's why we say sometimes it's difficult to navigate to all the options that you have right now. But just keep in mind, if you paid employees up to April 1st, in order for you to get the money from the government or from this bill, you have to go and apply for the 7A loan, the forgiveness loan, to get the money, right? And that applies not only to payroll W-2 employees, it applies to independent contractors as well, which opens up a whole set of another questions. And I will have other videos on self-employed individuals, because technically they could go and apply by themselves for these loans, right? Because they're losing income. So if it's before April 1st that you've paid employees, either because of sickness or because they had to care for someone else due to either school closures, daycare closures, or sickness for them or someone in their family, go for the 7A program. If you have April 1st moving forward, use the credits. And one thing I want to mention is it requires really insight. We don't know how long this is going to last, right? So it requires insight to see what is the most beneficial way to do this. Do I get the loan now? Do I wait to get the loan? Do I do the credits? How do I navigate this? How do I make it the most for my business so I have the best chance to stay alive and survive, right? So each business is different. So that's why you need to make sure that you have the right decisions, because if this is going to last another 30 days is one thing. What if this lasts 60 days? Yeah, we're looking at Italy, right? And Italy is now since January, and we're in April, and it's not looking any better. And we, in the news and the media says, well, it's a different story with Italy than the rest of the world. How do we know? Look at New York, right? So, really, really look at all of this in the perspective of how you have a better chance to stay in business, right? So I hope this gives you a little bit of insight. I hope it's not too confusing. So if you have any questions, or if you guys leave me a comment below, I'll be more than happy to come back with more information on a specific industry or a business or parts of the loan, the CARES Act, the Family First, Coronavirus Act. Leave some comments below. Please like this post so more people can see it, so they have access to this. They can go apply it, and let's help each other stay in business, help money move. You have to pay and buy things to really keep the economy going. We can't just stop buying. We can't just stop doing things, because that's going to affect all of us, and all of us will have to pay for this. So I hope this is helpful to you. Stay tuned for more updates and videos on this topic. Please like the post, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.